Alright, what's up guys? I think we got five of us riding today. We are back at Bankhead. We got some rain, so it's going to be not dusty for a change, but it's going to be a little damp. Be plenty of mud, get covered in. I'm running a brand new rear tire since the last time I was out here. The Kenda Trackmaster. And I'm running in a much larger size than the tire that I used to run on here. So the bike's geared up a little bit. This tire's 3/4 of an inch larger in diameter. Most everybody is on a dedicated dirt bike, with the exception of me, and we got one guy on a KTM 990. So this is going to be less of a make a video about a specific topic and more of let's just ride and have some fun. I'm also running new handlebars that I installed last night. Got the Tusk Mini High Bend. Making it a lot more comfortable to stand up. Prolonged period of time. Much taller than the factory bars. About got smoked right there. Well, at least it ain't gonna be dusty. Woo! Yeah. Aside from a busted mirror. Oh yeah, I'm good. All right. I don't think I said it out loud, but I'm not too surprised I went down the way I did. I had already noticed a couple couple times that the front end was pushing. I'm running a DOT tire on the front, so I have to go back and watch the video, but I think I caught a rock, and I don't know, I want to speculate without watching the video back, but the last video I made out here, I was talking about how analyze wrecks, or how not to analyze them in the moment, but since I just went down on camera, might go back and definitely go back and analyze that a little bit. But I think I caught a rock. Could have missed the rock. There's a big rock sitting there 10 feet, 15 feet before I hit the dirt. I'm not sure if I hit it or not. So much for these new handlebars. They are tweaked now. Not horribly, but enough I can tell by riding. I'm not sure if they're actually bent or if it's just the way they're being a high-rise bar, if they're just kind of spun one side, kind of spun in the clamp. Not spun in the clamp, they're not going to spin in the clamp. The clamps are only 3 inches apart, but the, what am I trying to say? I've got a crossbar, and that crossbar is clamped down really tight here and here. Woo! And I'm not 100% certain. This side's just flexed back a little bit, but it's very minimal. I'm curious if I get home and just undo that crossbar clamp, if it'll let them kind of twist back a little bit, or they might be permanently bent. And he took the worst spot of that drop off, 990. So anyway, I relinquished myself to the rear of the group for a moment, just to collect myself a little bit, let somebody else eat some of these spiders. Chad had mentioned we had a bunch of rain, so it's good for the dust, but I had noticed this front tire had pushed on me a time or two in some turns. I wasn't expecting it in that turn because I was kind of up on a berm, but if I hit a rock that forced it hard to turn hard left, and then it just pushed, and then I went down, and I couldn't get my foot down. The boot kind of hung the, I don't guess my boot hung the foot peg as much as, when the front was pushing, the wheel was sideways to the left. The bike's slowing down at a pretty quick pace, so I'm kind of slammed against the gas tank. In a seated position, it's hard to try to get your foot off the peg. Your knees all bent up. Forearm took a good bash on the ground too. Not broke or anything, the bone was just sore, but I also never took my hand off the handlebar, which is, I'm not gonna say I did it consciously on purpose, but there's a chance if I'd stuck my hand out to try to catch myself, I could have broke a wrist or broke something else. So I won't try to claim I did that on purpose. because it all happened so quick. But little rock garden. But in hindsight, it's probably a really good thing I didn't try to catch myself, stick my hand out, which is naturally what your body wants to do. Another thing I'm fighting is I put these bars on last night. I used the same grips that came off the stock bars, which were aftermarket grips I put on a couple months ago. And front just pushing some more. I mean, for a DOT tire, you can't expect it to be the greatest thing off-road. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I took this left side grip off the stock bar, and I didn't use any kind of grip glue, or I usually, if I need grip glue, something to actually help hold it on there, I'll use hairspray. And didn't have any hairspray because I don't have hair. My kids were out of hairspray, so this grip's spinning in my left hand, not a ridiculous amount or anything, but it's definitely doing it. So, kind of fighting that a little bit. I don't hear the guy behind me on the 990. Try to hang back a little bit for him, because if he goes down, he might have a hard time getting that big girl back up. There he is. There we go. I wanted to give him a chance to get through it on his own. This is what he chose to bring the big bike out here, so I'm sure he's wanting to test himself a little bit. And I know a couple of the guys I'm riding with decently well. It's not the first time I've rode with them, but I've never ridden with the guy on the 990. There's a guy on a Yamaha. I'm thinking it's a 250 4-stroke. I know it's a 4-stroke, but I'm thinking it's a 250, and it's like the woods bike. And he's apparently really fast. I've never ridden with him. He was following me when I crashed. He had a camera on his helmet, so he might have got good big camera footage of that. And a guy on a KTM I've never ridden with. He's down. Alright, so right here where I'm, right there, that's where the 990 went down, and it's got an AGM battery in it, and that battery's like right behind the front tire, and it ruptured the body of the battery. It never smoked, but we could hear it hissing, and I'm sure it's got no voltage. It's got too high, but something's messed up with the battery. So his 990 won't run at all. It's almost like the main fuse is toasted, like you turn the key, you don't get nothing. And so he's down for the count, and we are, I don't know, at least 2.5 miles of this, if not further, back to the truck. So he jumped a ride with some four-wheelers that come through, and they're nice enough to turn around and give him a ride back to the truck. Luckily it's a Saturday, and it's a pretty common battery size, I reckon. So we've got motorcycle dealerships open. Surely he can get a battery there. If not, get lucky and score the right one at a Walmart or AutoZone. And unfortunately we can't bump start it or anything like that. And checked all the fuses, then none of them are busted. So definitely, and that battery, it's been 45 minutes, and the battery, you can't hardly touch it. It's so hot and hasn't cooled off. So anyway, everyone else is going ahead, and I'm gonna go back to the parking lot, make sure him and the four-wheelers make it back all right, and then I'm gonna load up, call it a day, because it's taking up a lot of time here, and I've tweaked my handlebars and everything from that crash I had. So he'll return with a battery, and by the time he gets back with a battery, even if he finds one really quickly, the rest of the group will have made it the rest of the way around the loop, and we'll have made it back to the parking lot to ride back down here with him, help him with the battery, make sure he gets out. So heck of a day. Not what we had planned for the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video right here. Still a good time. Everyone's safe. No one got hurt. Didn't burn the national forest down with that toasted battery or anything. And we're pretty confident that's gonna solve this problem. So never know what you're gonna run into out here. It's a good excuse to always bring tools. So we hadn't had any tools. We couldn't have got that battery out of the bike to even realize something was wrong with it, to know that was the issue. We were just thinking fuses. So anyway, we'll wrap it right here, and I'll go home and do a little TLC on this thing, and hopefully these bars aren't permanently bent. I don't know if you can tell in the video, my left hand is a little closer to me, but that clamp right there, the crossbar clamp's twisted, so I'm hoping I can just loosen all that stuff up. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to loosen all that stuff up and realign it, and if the bars have a permanent bend in them, I'm just going to be riding with a permanent bend for a while, because I feel like it's visually worse than it looks, or visually worse than it feels, rather. So we'll get all that figured out and get back out here another day. So we'll catch y'all on the next one. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and enjoy my turmoil of hitting the dirt.